What's going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Tens Across the Boards, the series where I'm going to take all 6 YouTube music charts and combine them into the ultimate weekly top 10, all done with a little math and my personal preferences. I'm your host, Oakland Jonas Galloway, and without any further ado, let's hop into the charts. Alright everybody, I've got all of my data pulled up and I'm ready to jump into the charts. I'm going to start with some Hot 100s and jump into the top 10 most popular songs of the week. Now, I've got the daily and the weekly music charts pulled up from YouTube Music so that we can compare and contrast what I believe is the real-time consumer perspective that's reflected in the daily charts and the overall music industry's perspective that I feel is reflected in the weekly charts. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Now, let's start with the dailies and get into the top 10 songs. First up, we've got Bruno Mars coming in at number 1 with Risk It All. Number 2, we've got T.I. Let 'Em Know. 3, we've got Blackpink with Go. Coming in at number 4, we have Youngboy Never Broke Again with Highly. And number 5, we've got T.I. coming in again with The Right One. And number 6, we have Rosalia with Berghain featuring Bjork. And number 7, we have Gorillaz, The Mountain, The Moon Cave, The Sad God. And number 8, we have Alex Warren with Fever Dream. Number 9, Hurricane Wisdom coming in with Dangerous. And at number 10, BX The Plug with 6WA. Now, getting into the weeklies for the top 10 songs of the week, we have coming in at number 1, Huntrix with Golden. And number 2, we have Alex Warren making another entry in the chart with Ordinary. And number 3, we have Ice Spice coming in with Big Guy. And number 4, Bad Bunny with DTMF. And number 5, we have Ella Langley with Choosing Texas. Number 6, we have Shakira hitting the charts with Zoo. And number 7, we have Freza Regata with Marlboro Rojo. And number 8, Bad Bunny with Titi Me Pregunto. Number 9, Saha Boys with Soda Pop. And at number 10, T.I.'s Back with Let 'Em Know. See what I mean? This is kind of a plain example for me of the difference in where your songs can place in the charts, because if we look at T.I.'s Let 'Em Know, he shows us our first example of this, where in the weekly charts he's at number 10, but today in the dailies he's at number 2. You know what I mean? I think that in showing the weekly and the daily charts, I hope to take some of the stigma and some of the pressure off of the placements in the weekly charts and let people get some of their flowers in the dailies and use that as motivation to push their records harder so that they can get the reflections in the weekly charts that they really desire. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, we're going to hop on over to the music videos. Alright everybody, opening up our daily music charts for the music video section of our show, we have Huntrix opening up with Golden at number 1. At number 2, we have Bruno Mars with Risk It All. Number 3, Mr. Baz coming in with Go Go. Number 4, Ella Langley with Choosing Texas. Number 5, Ice Spice is coming in with Big Guy. Number 6, we have Freza Regata with Marlboro Rojo. Number 7, T.I. with Let 'Em Know. Number 8, Pooh Shiesty with FDO. Number 9, Bruno Mars with Risk It All. And number 10, Saha Boys with Soda Pop. Jumping into the weekly charts for the music videos, we have Huntrix opening up again with Golden at number 1. We have Ice Spice at number 2 with Big Guy. Jumping in at number 3, we have Ella Langley with Choosing Texas. Number 4, we have Freza Regata with Marlboro Rojo. Number 5, CG5 with Wrong Side Out. Number 6, we have Shakira with Zoo. Number 7, Pooh Shiesty with FDO. Number 8, Saha Boys with Soda Pop. Number 9, Herencia de Grandes with Ya Borracho. And number 10, Bad Bunny's Back with Titi Me Pregunto. In this one, we have a little bit of a different example of the impact that a song can make on the charts. In this one, we have Huntrix at number 1 on both the dailies and the weeklies, which I feel like is an a bona fide sign of a hit regardless of where it placed on either charts daily or weekly. We also see some songs on the charts kind of having an even placement on either chart, like Pooh Shiesty with FDO being on number 7 on the weekly and number 8 on the daily. We also have a new entry on the weekly that we don't even see on the daily, which I think is an interesting perspective because the dailies reflect, songs that are coming in daily, and I think that it would show the consistency of songs that are hot throughout the week. So I would think that a song that would be on the weekly chart will reflect something that would be already on the daily chart regardless. But we have CG5 with Wrong Side Out that's not even on the daily chart for today at all. You see what I'm saying? The charts really kind of balance themselves out, and depending on where you look at them. Now, when you get into the business side of that and the numbers and how all of that reflects into it, that I'm sure is a whole different game. And I'm sure the higher the placement, the higher, the bracket, the budget, and all of the things, the return on investment and all of those types of deals. But I do want to just kind of look at the interesting way that the consumer can influence the data from day to day, and how that kind of reflects and changes when it comes to the weekly charts, and how one cannot necessarily have anything to do with the other, and how one can reflect the other, and vice versa. You know what I mean? With that being said, we're going to jump into our last set of charts for the day, and we're going to jump into the top 10 shorts. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Alrighty, so our last set of charts that we're going to talk about before we get to the math and assimilate the OTT, the Oakland Top 10, we're going to talk about the top 10 shorts for the week. And these are coming from the YouTube Music Top 50 Shorts daily and weekly. And the reason why I feel like this is important to include is because I want to show how social media and the way that music is used in short form content, and how that reflects the popularity and the influence that records can now have on charts as well. We see this whole rise of music getting popular on TikTok and different social platforms, and how now that can influence placement on not only the more mainstream charts, but influence how the smaller charts like the TikTok charts themselves, as well as the YouTube music charts, can influence the popularity that an overall song can garner. I think that now, with the availability of social media to be able to utilize music in this way, I think it changes the way that music can not only be sold but promoted. I think it's a different approach. For me, it kind of makes me rethink the way that the ringtone was utilized in music promotion back in the day. And the way that shorts and music is used in short form content, it kind of reflects the way that ringtones became popular, and how those short clips and short form parts of songs were able to contribute to the overall sales of music, right? All right, everybody. So diving into the top 10 dailies when it comes to the shorts, we have at number 1, Dominic Fike with Baby Doll. At number 2, we have David Guetta featuring Usher with Without You. At number 3, Miami XO coming in with Bazooka. And number 4, Zakai and Slaughter with No Bati Dao. Number 5, Waka Flocka Flame featuring Roscoe Dash with No Hands. Number 6, we have Ice Spice with Big Guy. Number 7, Zara Larsson with Lush Life. And number 8, we have Iron Mouse, Cry For Me. And number 9, Bad Bunny, DTMF. And 10, we have Elle Goulding and Juice WRLD with Hate Me. Opening up the top 10 for the week when it comes to the shorts, we have Regina Spektor with Two Birds. And number 2, Waka Flocka Flame featuring Roscoe Dash with No Hands. And number 3, Zakai and Slaughter with No Bati Dao. Number 4, we have Iron Mouse, Cry For Me. Number 5, we have Miami XO coming in with Bazooka. Number 6, Zara Larsson with Lush Life. Number 7, we have Ice Spice with Big Guy. Number 9, we have Bad Bunny, DTMF. And number 9, Dominic Fike with White Keys. And rounding out at number 10, we have Leonard? Leaner. I'll have to figure that out. Tuve low. Period. Tuve low. Rounding out the 10th spot with Monta Jim Meow. Now, this chart gives us an interesting perspective on how music can resurface after years of being released and being out in the ethos and going away and coming back, because we have songs that have been out for so many years, like Waka Flocka Flame's No Hands featuring Roscoe Dash, charting in 2026 when that song was out when I was in high school in the late 2000s. That's incredible. I think that is another facet of social media providing a platform for music to be distributed, because not only does it kind of reformat the way that music can be promoted and sold, it can also stretch and give a whole new level of longevity to people's music, because as long as we have social media and the internet, music doesn't ever have to really get old at this point. And I think that that's the most prevalent and interesting thing about charts like these, is that we see how truly evolved and truly everlasting the music industry really is, and how things change in real time, literally all the time. And we see how just because a piece of music is 15 years old, 20 years old, we see things like this happen, where music is now number 2 on the charts with a song that is over 15 years old. I think that that's incredible, and it adds a new level of hope and a new level of perspective and a new level of timelessness to the way that we ingest music. I think that it actually re-injects timelessness into music. Now, on the flip side of that, it does make me think, does it add a level of timelessness to songs that the general public, or even more personally, me, would consider bad? Yes. But with every good comes bad, so I guess we have to ingest some sort of sacrifice with that. But overall, I think all's well that ends well, and the pros outweigh the cons on that. So let me know what you guys think about that. Jump down in the comments and let me know if you make music out there, how is social media impacting the way that you promote your music, how you get your music out there? And if you're one of those people who likes to use music in your short form content, like shorts, like TikToks, jump down and let me know how using music in this way has expanded your music knowledge or your music power bank. Because I think for me, it's opened me up to a whole new world of music that I was never exposed to, and it's given me a whole new expansion to my palette, and that I appreciate a lot more than anything. Alrighty, so with all of that being said, we're going to combine all of the data that we just looked at, do a little math, and we're going to take a look at some numbers and see who stood out the most for the week, and see where our top 10 is going to really come from. Let's take a look. Alright folks, so when putting together my ultimate top 10 VOTT, I wanted to make sure that I wanted to add a level of fairness when incorporating my personal opinions. So how I wanted to inject both of those things into the format and be fair when utilizing both of them is I wanted to incorporate a level of math by finding the songs that appeared on multiple charts that I covered and utilizing those as the ones that automatically make the chart first, right? And if the songs that crossed multiple charts didn't fill up the chart, and then I would go to my own personal preferences and pick from the charts, right? This week, we have songs that crossed multiple charts that filled up the entire chart and then some. And it gave us a level of choice for me to choose from. It gave me a level of option for me to choose from to incorporate my own personal style into the math as well. So let's look at the numbers, shall we? Okay, so opening up, we're gonna start with Ice Spice, who's gonna be coming in at the highest placing on this ranking with 5 out of 6 charts that she placed on with Big Guy this week. Next, we're going to be talking about a set of songs that all came in at 3 out of 6 charts. And this is where my personal preference is going to come in when it comes to formulating the OTT. So, looking at our choices, we have Huntrix with Golden coming in at 3 out of 6. We have Bad Bunny with DTMF. We have Saha Boys with Soda Pop. T.I. Let 'Em Know. Frezzo Regata Fresa Regata, with Marlboro Rojo, and Ella Langley with Choosing Texas. Now, dropping down the last set of songs that crossed multiple charts, all of these songs appeared on 2 out of 6 charts this week. So, taking a look at these choices for the OTT, we have Bad Bunny with Titi Me Pregunto. We have Waka Flocka Flame featuring Roscoe Dash with No Hands. We have Bruno Mars, Risk It All. We have Shakira with Zoo. We have Zara Larson with Lush Life. Iron Mouse with Cry For Me. Zakai and Slaughter with No Batidao. And Miami XO with Bazooka. So, take a look at this chart, see where the songs placed, and see if you can kind of guess which songs are going to go where and see which songs are going to make which part of the chart. Because if you look at the numbers here, we have 15 songs altogether that crossed multiple charts. Well, like I said earlier in the video, there's only going to be a top 10. But I'm going to take the other songs that cross charts and I'm going to create an honorable mention and give you an 11 through 15, all based on my personal perceptions as well. So take a look, pause the video, see if you can kind of guess where I'm going to place the top 10s. And after that, let's jump into it and see where everything lands. Alrighty, folks, this is it. This is the main event. This is the climax of the show. This is my official top 10 of the week. Based on the math, based on my personal preferences, this is where I think all of the music that we covered today over all 6 of these charts should really land when it comes to the charts, and where the most popular music is really gonna go if it was really placed in a top 10. Okay? All right, everybody. So this is the main event. This is the climax of the show. This is the official Oakland Top 10, the OTT. This is where I'm going to take all the data, take all the charts that we've covered, take all of the songs that we just saw that crossed over multiple charts, and line them up based on the math and based on where I think that the most popular music of the week should land when it comes to a top 10. Okay? Let's dive in. So, the only song that's here by strictly math this week is gonna be Ice Spice with Big Guy. She crossed the most charts with 5 out of 6, and the next set of songs that comes in on our charts starts at 3 out of 6. So she really beat everybody out by a landslide. So not only is she guaranteed to be on the top 10 this week with crossing multiple charts, she's guaranteed at our number 1. So shout out to Ice Spice with number 1. Coming in at number 2, we're going to be diving into the songs that crossed 3 out of 6 charts. And coming in first for me is going to be number 2, T.I. with Let 'Em Know. I think that the reason why I put T.I. at this point in the chart is because I'm so excited to see a rapper that I grew up with not only come back with new music, but come back with new music that is kindred or even arguably better than music that he was putting out in his prime. I love to see people who rap just as well or better than they did when we first came to love them and came to appreciate them as artists in the first place. I kind of had this conversation on Shop or Chop the other day when I was talking about Juvenile and BBB and how he's still rapping like he's coming to take over for the 99 and the 2000s. I think that that's so amazing to hear these legendary artists come out and still not only have something to say, but still have one of the most articulate and amazing cadences and presentations of ways to say it. You know, T.I. came out with this song and he let us know he's literally still the king of the South. Love that for him. Coming in at number 3, we have Bruno Mars with Risk It All. And anybody that knows me knows I am a huge Bruno Mars fan, and this is another testament to an artist who is in the range of being at legacy artist status, but is still putting out music that is as good or better than the music that they released in their prime. The way that this man is vocalizing on this record is something that is just, my goodness, it's just such good music. And I know that people have had criticisms of the entire project and says that it leans in the direction of repetitive and even kind of run of the mill or stereotypical or uninspired, if you will. But I do think that even if this is uninspired music, the way that he's making this uninspired music is absolutely beautiful. So if this music is uninspired for him, then I say that we direct this music to the people who are just discovering Bruno Mars and let these people get this and then go back and discover his earlier work and hear the stuff that he was putting out when he was quote unquote truly inspired. Because this is great music, and I don't think that it should be passed over just because it sounds a little too similar to music that we've heard from him before. So I think that Risk It All and this project, The Romantic, should be recommended to people who have never heard of him before and are just becoming familiar with his music, and let them start here and then go backwards. Coming in at number 4, we've got Huntrix with Golden. And the reason why is because this song is just truly undeniable. It's the first K-pop song to break in America in a truly undeniable way. It's the first K-pop song that's nominated for an Oscar, if I'm not mistaken. It's become one of the most performed K-pop songs I've seen on the internet probably in the last year. I can't qualify that with actual statistics, but it feels like everywhere I go, I see that song. I hear that song. I see a child with a Huntrix piece of merchandise. Like, K-pop Demon Hunters truly came in and did something with this American appreciation for K-pop music and took it in a direction that I am actually pleasantly surprised to see, but I'm also very proud of. And also, for me, the reason why I put Golden so high up on the list is because the story of EJ specifically, the writer and the main voice in the group and on the song, her story as a K-pop trainee that trained for all of these years, went through hell on earth with different companies, went from company to company, trained for all of these years, and then never debuted, and then went into this world of being a writer, and then landed this golden, pun intended, opportunity to not only write for a movie soundtrack, but then voice the artist in the movie. I think that that's such an incredible story of tenacity and steadfastness and stick-with-itness that could only inspire me as an artist and as a creative. I don't necessarily do music anymore personally, but as a creative, I still consider myself an artist because everything that I put out is art to me. Because I put that level of effort into it and that level of passion into it, and I care about it that much. But I think that Golden and this song and this group and its success are a true testament to that, and I truly relate to that in one of the most personal ways. So shout out to them. Coming in at number 5, we have Bad Bunny with DTMF. And the reason why Benito is here is because I am so proud of the way that he has been handling his music in America with the increase of ICE and racism and just the ignorance of American people when it comes to predominantly or Spanish first language individuals. I appreciate the way that he rolled out his Super Bowl performance and how it was in line with this effort to promote consciousness and social awareness with the biggest platform in America, one of the most ignorant territories in the world, yet one of if not the cornerstone or the foundation of worldwide coverage or exposure. I think that it's wild that the market that everybody goes to reach the world is also the most ignorant market in the world. The contradiction and the catch-22 of that is something that truly needs to be studied. But saying all of that, I want to extend flowers to Bad Bunny for not only not compromising his art by doing the entire Super Bowl in Spanish, but also putting out just great fucking music regardless. Like, the music is good as hell regardless. Even if he didn't choose to make a social statement, even though I'm completely glad that he did, if he didn't choose to make a social statement with his Super Bowl performance, the music is just amazing regardless. So however he got chosen for this, he showed us why, not only with the performance, but with the music that's coming after that, right? When it comes to Fresa Regarda, Marbo Rojo, this was a song that was new for me. This was a song that I had never heard before putting together this list and going over these charts. And it was one of the most earwormy songs that I had heard in a minute. It was the song that I kept coming back to when I was listening to the music for this song for this video to kind of gather my opinions to record this. This was the song that I came back to the most. I just enjoy this song. I think the musicality, I like the song. I like the beat. It was just the most fun, and I am definitely going to add it to the playlist, and I'm going to dive into this artist more after I put this list out. Coming in at number 7, I've got the Saha Boys with Soda Pop. And the reason why I put Saha Boys in number 7 is because I just think that it's interesting that the Saha Boys, correct me if I'm wrong, comment below, but I just don't see the Saha Boys getting as much recognition publicly after the movie as Huntrix. Not to say that they should, I mean, they are the villains, but I just don't see them getting as many performances or getting as many interviews or getting the press run that I see EJ and Huntrix doing. And, I don't think that's fair. I think that they should get opportunities too. I think that we should be seeing them perform. I think we should be seeing them go on a K-pop Demon Hunters tour. I think that, we should see some sort of show with them. It would be so cool to see Huntrix and Saha Boys go on tour and create this whole live event where it's them going back and forth with music, kind of similar to the way that Escape and SWV went out on tour, and they kind of did songs back and forth, and then they came out and sang each other's songs. I think that would be very interesting for these two groups to go out on the road and do in their own way and figure out some sort of way to combine their talents and put out a great show for the people who love this movie. I don't know if it's too late to do that, but I think it's a great idea. Let me know what y'all think about that. Coming in at number 8, I've got Ella Langley with Choosing Texas. And the reason why she landed here was kind of truly semantics for me. She was the last of our songs that crossed 3 out of 6 charts this week. And so she had to go on the top 10 regardless. But she was the song that I connected with the least. But she was a song that I still liked. She was going to be on here regardless because she crossed 3 out of 6 charts. So all of those songs were going to go on the top 10. But this was at the bottom of those songs for me. I still enjoyed it. Shout out to Ella Langley for doing your thing. But this was just the last of the Mohicans, I guess, for these records for me. Coming in at number 9, we have Waka Flocka Flame featuring Roscoe with no hands. And the reason why this is at number 9 is because this is the first of the songs that hit 2 or more charts this week for me. This was at the top of the list for me when it comes to the songs that hit 2 or more charts. And the reason being is because this song was triple platinum in my BlackBerry when I was in high school and shortly after I graduated. When I was 17, 18 years old, this song was quadruple platinum in my BlackBerry. And I still love this song to this day. It's still in my workout playlist. I still listen to Waka Flocka Flame's music. And I appreciate that his old music is charting in this way, and that the kids today are coming out and seeing this music that was back out then and giving appreciation to it. It makes me want to go out and see what shorts that this music is being used for, because this is where Waka Flocka Flame kind of rose to prominence in this section of the video. He came in on both of the weekly and the daily top shorts charts. Coming in at number 10 on the OTT and rounding out our list for this week, we have Zara Larsson with Lush Life, right? And the reason why I put Zara Larsson at number 10 is because anyone that knows me knows I love pop music. I love pop music. I love upbeat pop music. And I love a girl that can perform her ass off. And Zara Larsson has slowly risen in the ranks for me as one of the top pop girlies to watch out for. And I'm slowly becoming obsessed with her. Mostly for her stage presence, but her stage presence is making me interested in her music, because I keep seeing clips of her on stage go viral. I keep seeing clips of her performances go viral, and not only does she look amazing in this very Britney Spears coded Y2K aesthetic, she dances her ass off, and she also sounds great when she's performing. I have been stuck in Tate McRae land for almost 2 years at this point, maybe more than 2 years at this point. And so I think it's refreshing to see some more girls kind of in that vein kind of pop up and have that same level of equality when it comes to vocal and musical prowess, as well as stage performance and dance prowess. You know, I love seeing the people like the Chaperones and the Sabrina Carpenters, who are beautiful, but they don't necessarily, call Lorianne when it's time to put their tour together when it comes to the choreography, maybe for the creative direction and the visual, but not necessarily the choreography. But they're still amazing vocalists and they still make great music. But for me, my type of pop girly is always going to be the girl that is going to put out a great song and then give me a great 8 count behind it. So shout out to Zara Larsson for rounding out our top 10 for this week. All right, folks, so before we get out of here, I'm going to give you the honorable mentions that I was talking about before and give you the 11 through 15 of the rest of the songs that made 2 charts out of 6 this week, and just kind of show you where they would land if we actually extended into a top 15 or a top 20. Okay, let's dive in. So first, we're going to come in with Bad Bunny with Titi Me Pregunto at number 11. And the reason why it's here, the music is fucking good. It's great freaking music. The man is making great music. I don't care if I don't speak Spanish. I don't care if I don't understand what he's saying. The music is good. And mind you, listening to Bad Bunny's music as somebody who is 50% Panamanian makes me want to go and learn Spanish just that much more. Listening to Bad Bunny's music makes me want to put a little more effort into going and exploring my Panamanian heritage from a language and vocal perspective. So, and to that point, also just doubling down on that, it makes me appreciate him saying when he got announced for the Super Bowl, y'all got 6 months to learn Spanish. Figure it out. I thought that was some of the cuntiest retort I had ever seen from a music artist in the public media. And so taking that and coupling it with the fact that the music is just good, the cultural perspective that he comes with when it comes to the way that he presents in America, I'm Bad Bunny is probably going to be the reason that I end up actually taking the leap and learning Spanish for real. No shade. Number 11, we have Miami EXO with Bazooka. And this was a song that when I listened to it, it was another one of those songs that I kept coming back to. Excuse me. It was another song that I kept coming back to, and it was another song that made me want to go and add the artist Miami EXO to my library. I'm gonna dive into his music after listening to this song, and I'm gonna go and see what else of his that I like, because this was a good one. I wish that it crossed more charts so that it could have been higher up and it could have actually made the top 10, because I really appreciated the song. But because of where it landed and because of other factors, tiny things, semantics, it landed where it landed. But Miami XO, I'm going to be looking out for you. Great song with Bazooka coming in at number 12. Alrighty, coming in at number 13, we have Iron Mouse with Cry For Me. And this was me diving into some experimental music. Not to call the music experimental, but it was just new territory for me. This was a new artist for me. This was something new that I had dived. Anyway, I really liked this. I thought it was interesting. And what made this song and number 14, No Batidao, stand out for me was that the cover art. The cover art for both of those songs, 13 and 14, really reminded me of the MySpace era. If you look at the cover art for those music, they really remind me of MySpace backgrounds. And that just stood out to me as interesting. But the music itself was actually pretty good. I'm going to go back and listen to more Iron Mouse. I'm going to listen to this song a little bit more just to get into it, because I didn't have time to listen to this song as much as the other ones, as well as No Batidao as well. But I got a couple listens in and it made me want to go back and listen to it more. So depending on where I go with those two songs, I'm going to dive into those artists more. Coming in at number 14, we've got Sakai and Slaughter with No Batidao, like I was saying earlier. And like I was saying, good music, interesting music. Gonna listen to it a couple times to see if I want to expand and get to know the artist more. But I appreciate what I was hearing. Kind of reminds me of music that I was listening to years and years and years ago when I was a kid, and listening to these underground DJs play with music and chop up these songs and create these experimental mashups and all of that, but it be original. I think that I really like where this style of music is going, and I appreciate seeing it chart and come to prowess in a way that is tangible and alongside music that people would consider mainstream. Definitely congratulations to you guys for that. Closing out at number 15, we have Shakira coming in with Zoo. And the reason why she's here is because, I have a child, I love the kids, but I'm not always the biggest fan of artists making original music for kids' movies, even though I know why they do it. The artists that typically do this have kids, they want to make something for their kids to listen to, and it's great. And with that being said, it's going to go on the playlist that I listen to with my daughter, but it's not going to be something that I personally listen to. But I appreciate Shakira expanding her brand and getting out there and doing something different and jumping into a musical film and soundtrack and doing all of that. Jumping into making music for a film and doing a soundtrack. So I'm not sure if she's done this before. and done a soundtrack before, but if she has, it's great to see her back. But this was a great start if this was the first one. I hope she gets more soundtracks after this, especially for kids' movies. All right, everybody, that has been Tens Across the Board. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you think about the top 10, the OTT. Are you down with OTT? Jump in the comments and let me know what you think about the placements, where the songs that crossed multiple charts landed, and if you could rearrange my top 10, where you would place these songs. Once again, I'm Oakland Jonas Galloway. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. Make sure you subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and share with another music lover. Until next week, I'll see you guys later. New episodes come out every Friday. Peace.